Hey guys, just a reminder, when you like, comment, and subscribe, you're far out, man. Hey guys, it's your best boxing friends. I'm Kelsey. This is Rachel. Rachel, Lennox Lewis and Anthony Joshua are having a verbal sparring session. Of course, when you're a heavyweight champion of the world, like Anthony Joshua was, and you lose a fight to a massive underdog the way Anthony Joshua did, you open yourself up to criticism from interested parties, which can and will include former heavyweight champions. And so Lennox pointed out some things that he thinks could make AJ a better fighter in general.
And he's also on a broadcast team. So it's part of like his job.
Yeah, he's a thought leader, if you will, in boxing.
It's not like he's a former heavyweight champion that just took to the,
out of
Twitter
nowhere
to like whatever.
Even if he was,
though like that still happens, people can share their opinions.
Yeah, if you're in the public eye, they're gonna share your opinion. Usually, that means they're interested in your career. So it's actually like
right, yeah.
Anyway, AJ called Lennox Lewis a clown.
Okay.
And so, to me, first of all, I worry about AJ's state of mind right now.
Right. This isn't a good follow-up to the lack of passion
comment, which
was like an aside. We made up some stories about it, talked about it. It could have been nothing, whatever. But then you have, this follows it, and you're like,
Couple that with the Saudi Arabia fight move. So the rematch is supposed to be in Saudi Arabia. Right now, they don't really know what's going to happen with that because Andy Ruiz isn't super thrilled about going to Saudi Arabia. Now, his contract that he originally signed kind of stipulated that Joshua's team would dictate all the terms for a potential rematch if Ruiz won the first fight.
Okay.
So probably what Ruiz's team and himself is trying to do is get a little bit more of that money. But it is interesting to me is they're going to Saudi Arabia because of the huge amount of money they can get from investors there. And that makes me think, are they cashing out on Anthony Joshua? Is this like we need to get as much money as we can right now because we're not really sure if this is the guy that we thought he was.
Huh. That's not a good feeling.
Well, yeah, it's something that, we just want to see. So what I like about Anthony Joshua, first of all, we were at this fight that he lost, right? And he did come out and talk to people and whatnot. And that's a big thing. That shows a lot of character, a lot of class. Love that. I love his ability. Obviously, he was a very decorated amateur. He's won a lot of big fights. He's young. But what I've seen since his loss is maybe, he's focusing on some negative things, some dumb things. If you're lucky enough to make it to a point where your life where the last undisputed heavyweight champion of the world is talking about you,
right.
Maybe just take that feedback as what it is and just let it be. Especially, if you start throwing around words like he's a clown and you're cut from a different cloth, you don't want to be cut. If you're a heavyweight boxer, you don't want to be cut from a different cloth than Lennox Lewis, who is one of the greatest heavyweights of all time.
Yeah.
That's just a fact. I didn't grow up a Lennox Lewis fan. I actually have come to appreciate him later in my life. But regardless, he is easily one of the top 5 or 10 heavyweights of all time. Some people put him in the top 3. So knowing that that's the truth and knowing that just is what it is, why call this guy a clown? Who's the real clown here, AJ? You know what I'm saying? Like, Lennox Lewis beat Mike Tyson, beat Evander Holyfield.
This might speak more to the journey and processing that AJ is doing post-loss.
Yeah.
So, it might be kind of a traumatic experience for him. He might not have had to deal with this in his life. I don't know that much about AJ,
Yeah.
To lose like this on this big of a stage at a fight you were completely expected to win.
Yeah.
It might be more difficult, and so as outsiders, maybe we could view all this as more of like a sign of what AJ's going through than like specifically, sometimes things happen in somebody's life and you're like, whoa, like they kind of act out in such a way that you you all of a sudden you take a step back and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna let this person just do whatever they need to do because it's clear they're going through something.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna take it like as like a real thing. Like, hey, let me step in and say like argue with you about like whatever. No, it's clear that you're going through some kind of thing and it's insane. Like what's happening, what I'm viewing here, and you kind of just take a step back and let them go through that journey. Yeah. And so I wonder if maybe AJ is going through some kind of a journey dealing with all this.
He definitely seems to be. It brings concern to me around his ability to win the rematch. He's favored in the rematch, not as much as he was in the first fight, but he's favored in the rematch. And I, without all this other stuff, think, yeah, that makes sense. To me, he made a tactical error in the fight. I've said this before. He made a tactical error in the fight, paid the price for it, and couldn't recover from it. If he focuses on doing the things that he should have been doing the whole time, he can win the fight. It might not look like people wanted it to look. I also think he was trying to go for the big knockout, trying to keep pace with Deontay Wilder, and that was a mistake. However, now I'm like, I don't know. Is he, are you focusing on the right things, AJ? Are you focused on your boxing, pure boxing? Are you focused on your team? Lennox Lewis is a good example of a fighter that you should hopefully want to fight like. He used
let's also say this, like Lennox Lewis is somebody who lots and lots of boxers would be so grateful to come across and get any type of advice from.
Yeah.
I have seen other fighters stand in front of Bernard Hopkins and get advice, and they are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm getting this. Like, what a gift this is, because this doesn't always happen. So, like, to have Lennox Lewis, without you having to ask for it, like, it just happens, gives you, I guess, some kind of advice, like that's gold. Like, you should be taking that, Or if you can't handle it, like, right? Like, maybe you got too much going on, at least just be like, to whoever your trainer is, your team is, be like, hey, you guys saw what Lennox Lewis said. Like, I'm going to listen to you. Do whatever you want with what he said. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, because as a boxer, you don't have to, be listening to everybody out. You can't do that either. But like,
I see this a lot with younger people, and I used to view this the same way myself. But the idea that any kind of criticism is against you, right? Criticism is important. It is for you. And it is completely valid for any human person to have an opinion or a thought about something. Anybody expressing, like even on our show, when we express an opinion about a boxer or a boxer's career, what they're doing, we're usually doing it because we think that our opinion is like, oh, well, maybe this would help the boxer, right? Or this will help the person. Like, it's not even this, what we're doing today.
Well, minimally, it's because they have our attention.
Yeah.
There are lots and lots of boxers out there who people in whatever kind of media outlet, we're a very small media outlet, but like whatever, like their name is never mentioned.
Yeah.
So if your name is mentioned.
Yeah, it just comes with the gig. When I wrote for Bleacher Report, man, I would get emails and tweets at me.
Yeah, well, you're a writer, so you deal with
all the time from people, and that's just part of the thing. And it's not like now there's a difference between people trolling people and just talking noise. That happens, but that's not what this is. And criticism, if you can listen to criticism and also allow for the people that criticize you, for example, Lennox Lewis is probably trying to hold on. He's when you're not in the limelight anymore, so like you want that, right? I mean, who cares? But like that doesn't mean that his criticism is not valid. Is there some truth to the things he's saying? Take what's useful, AJ, and discard the rest, right? So it's a troubling thing in the sign of Anthony Joshua's career. Equally troubling, I think, is Tyson Fury's choice of opponent. He's defending that. He defended it today on Instagram by saying that the guy was ranked highly by one of the alphabet organizations. I was like, seriously, Tyson? That's a joke. Nobody, exactly. That's not, just because, you know what I mean? It's it's nonsense. Ranking organizations, the alphabet organizations are awful.
Yeah.
So I'm just grateful, I guess, for Deontay Wilder, because he's just been around just knocking fools out for as long as I can remember. And I want great heavyweight fights. That does not include AJ versus Lennox Lewis. It doesn't include Tyson Fury versus Otto Whalen. So let's hope we get the right fights and they keep coming up. For us, your best boxing friends, you know, Rachel, I'm so happy and grateful that we have our best boxing friends out there in the world today. We appreciate your love and support. If you want to help us out, what can they do, Rach?
They can like, comment, and subscribe.
Thanks for watching. Do you think these should be my show classes that I only wear during the show?
No.
I'm like, hello everyone, welcome to Real Talk with Kelsey and Rachel. And it's like, and it's all trippy. Okay. What do you think? Do you think we should do that? Hello.